Yo, what's up, YouTube? Here again with another video for y'all. And today we're gonna be talking about something a little bit different, a little bit more serious. So, a debate came up on my Twitter. One of my homies, he made a post, and I commented under it because I personally disagree with what he was saying. So we're gonna start. Dang, I can't talk. We're gonna spark a debate today, and we basically gonna see which one makes more sense, or which one's more logical, or however you want to view it. And also, y'all go ahead, follow me on my Instagram, follow me on my Twitter. Y'all go spam all that up. For real, I'm serious. Yeah, I'm dead ass. But anyways, also, we got our first fan, our first supporter, our first legit supporter. Now, don't pay attention to what he said. Don't even worry about that. But just know that this is gonna be on my YouTube forever. So you're gonna have a shout out forever. So yeah, appreciate the support. Better videos, better content coming soon. I'ma holla at y'all. Psych, we finna get in this video.
You know what I dislike? I dislike how feminists always view men having standards as insecurities. Truth is, we're not settling for OnlyFans and Instagram models anymore. We're not settling for whatever. Men's preferences aren't dehumanizing. It's in our biological nature, and feminism has conditioned women and blue pill men to shame other men for things we subconsciously cannot control. We're shamed for being masculine. We're shamed for being attracted to women with big breasts and fat ass. But, that's the topic for another video. But my point is, society is teaching men to not have standards and morals when it comes to women. Men and women, they both objectify in their own ways. Men objectify women based on their looks, but women, they objectify men based on looks, wealth, and status subconsciously. Subconsciously. This is why women is attracted to men who are successful, because they can protect and provide, and that man took risks and was probably badass enough to get where they are now in life. I don't see many people telling a woman that how much money a man has in his pockets, or what type of job he works at, or how popular he is not a preference. We can't do that. We can't debate against women. That'll be going against the blue pill agenda and therefore socially unacceptable. People always question, well, how come men can have many partners and it be viewed as socially acceptable, or they're less bashed while women get a completely different treatment? Well, this is because one of the most important values a woman has for a man is their sexual value. No man wants a woman who's a slut or whoever want to slut with. Men are very sacred, and it's always been this way since the beginning of time. But it's also go down to attraction, because women are subconsciously attracted to men who have more sexual or relationship experience compared to men who hasn't had any partners at all or who haven't been around the block before. Men are attracted to women who have fewer partners though. And even though this is a double standard, or it appears that way, this has been a principle in our ideology and physiology since forever. Modern day society has an asphyxiation with assuming that just because something is a norm, it is inherently bad, deconstructing all of the positive things and things that have worked for us in the process. Now people are changing everything in society, even the things that are good. You want to fuck 40 people? Okay, don't worry about your sexual health or STDs, sexually transmitted demons, or people is going to look at you different. I don't understand why with women everything empowering has to be sexual or them being half naked. That's not empowering. That's making a fool out of yourself. And what I think empowering should be is women who know how to hold down their men, women who are praised for being financially stable, or who is physically, mentally, and spiritually where they want to be. Women who know how to take care of a home, who can cook, who can clean, who can take care of kids, because honestly, a lot of women do not know how to do any of that nowadays. They don't know how to cook, they don't know how to clean, they don't know how to take care of kids. And it's like, now a lot of times men, they get the extra workload, or they don't get what they're expecting out of the relationship. The value exchange is all messed up.
And that's something that I think needs to be worked on. We should empower women. Yeah, but also I think we're kind of losing our focus and pulling women away from what's really important. And that's being able to support and serve their king, who is there for them emotionally and somebody who can really hold them down. And now don't just hold down anyone, don't hold down a bum, don't hold down somebody that's toxic or not good for you. But those values we need to have instilled in all of our women. And certain things is not being praised the way it should be. Like I said, we're not settling for OnlyFans and Instagram models anymore. And what's crazy is that men, they can't say the slightest negative thing about women, even if it's true or constructive, or the media is going to drag him. This is because people in general, and especially women, cannot handle being criticized. And going on to the next subject, you know, we should promote body positivity while levels of obesity and heart disease, including being overweight in general, have skyrocketed. But I guess that's because we care more about how people feel than what's actually best for them.
I remember somebody said that back in the 90s, we used to celebrate these super skinny models, these anorexic and bulimic chicks, right? You know, they look like a clothing hanger. And then eventually people were like, yo, we are celebrating unhealthy standards. Unhealthy. That's what they said. When those girls were too small in the 90s, they said these were unhealthy standards. So my question, if too small is unhealthy, why are 300, 400-pound people, why is that now healthy? We need to keep that same energy. Because what happens is society is not trying to push people to what's best for themselves. It's trying to push a profit.
Certain social norms were set in place to keep society in check. But now what do we have? Women who are found commonly overweight and obese with no standards when it comes to who they have sex with. Women who have so many partners are usually signs of a person who submits to instant gratification. That is not good. If you can't control your pleasure and let your pleasure control you, that is a problem. Women cannot be trusted to make rational decisions and will succumb to whatever in life just because it feels good in that moment. Men are not excused from this either. People like this are red flags, especially when it comes to something as fragile and emotional as a relationship. Oh, and don't expect them not to cheat on you. They can't help it. As humans, we are more drawn and attracted to mates who are or appear healthy so that we can pass those strong genes onto the next offspring. Whether you want to hear it or not and accept the harsh truth, bigger women and women who are hypersexual are not healthy. Men are instinctively turned off by these traits. And y'all might be sitting there questioning, okay, so then why is everybody like always simping and excited to see Instagram models, and why is everyone buying OnlyFans and stuff? I'm talking about long term. Men are not interested in that. You have to have more to offer than just, your sexual activity. And men are turned off by that. But I mean, as humans, we can overcome these top processes, but never entirely, because we'll always be drawn to human nature in the end. Oh, and about men being overweight, I read this research article, and 9% of the US population, or 28.8 million Americans, will have an eating disorder in their lifetime. That's right, in their lifetime. And that's the total population, so you can assume, just for raw estimate, that that's about 4.5% of women. But I will admit I read men are far less diagnosed for eating disorders than women. But I found in main statistics for eating disorders that the numbers for women were less than 5% in each category for each eating disorder. So the fact of this possibly being a problem of her overweight because she has an eating disorder is not true. And being sexually exploited, though is more common than the statistics tell us, the exact number, in my opinion, is inconclusive to make any general statements. So I won't make any general statements on that. Or any logical statements because, like I said, the numbers don't truly match up. But It is commonly aware, though, and in my support, that these acts are extremely horrendous and unacceptable. I'm against these foul mistreatments, but someone being the victim of abuse shouldn't justify, though, that the thoughts of having sex as the only way to feel love isn't a problem that should be avoided. People like that have untreated trauma that should be dealt with wholeheartedly in the best way possible before forming any type of strong social or emotional bond such as a relationship. Untreated abuse victims are red flags if you want a stable relationship, and this will only cause hurt and confusion for the other party if you continue to indulge with them. If a blind man leads a blind man, both will fall into the pit. Thoughts like these that appeal to emotion more than logic will only lead men and women into a deeper hole. People only support these statements because it sounds good and it appeals to emotions of the victim, but they never actually solve the problem. It's like when someone's venting to you and you choose to either support them emotionally and let them continue hurting themselves, or have them keep going through that situation until they finally figure it out themselves, or you give them the tools to fixing their problem entirely. We're all about fixing the problem. Men should continue to have standards and avoid these women who are dealing with trauma and sorting out their life. You're only as strong as your weakest link, and having a person like that in your relationship will ultimately bring you down. It just sounds good. Stop playing the victim card and pay attention to what's really going on in your life. You ever heard that people are more willing to hide the truth than to reject a lie? This is commonly what we're faced with in Western society. People making poor decisions and rejecting rational traditional thought because it's socially acceptable. Standards protect us from red flags and relationships that aren't fulfilling or valuable. Men and women have unreasonable standards on both ends nowadays, but standards are important. If we don't have standards or judgments, we'll continue to be faced with challenges in relationships that could have been avoided entirely if we relied on these standards in the first place. We would never escape that revolving door and continue to experience pain. And I think that's the problem. People keep reintroducing themselves to pain. Having standards promotes people of value, and when you stick to these beliefs, you only bring high value people into your life. Okay, so that's all we have for today's video. If you agree with my thoughts or you just like the video in general, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, show y'all support, and give y'all thoughts in the comments because I really want to know what y'all think. I'm being open-minded to stuff. But also, y'all go check out the homie JVR's video about the same topic, but he's giving the other side of the perspective or whatever. So that's going to be in the end card. Like I said, y'all press that like button, y'all subscribe, y'all remember me, and I'm going to holler at y'all in the next video. Kai Savage, and stay true 10 toes 100.